Hi. So here we're going to talk about a little bit of words. No, what's a program? What does program management mean? Um, and what are the different parts of it, and what we'll mean when we talk about it here, right? So a program is like a kind of a grouping together of different activities that are coordinated and planned and are related to have some sort of longer term aim, right? That's the kind of the normal definition of a program. Um, and that's fine, yeah. But I think, and we can call it program management, obviously, yeah, programs, because what we have in the humanitarian world are a set of activities that are related and that are designed to produce specific outcomes. Okay, but I talk a little bit. I like to use the word intervention because it has, I think, more of the nature of humanitarian work in it, like in the sense of intervening into something rather than running a program, right? So I like that, and I like when we talk about humanitarian interventions. So a humanitarian intervention obviously is something that happens when there's a crisis or just after a crisis, post-crisis. That's humanitarian. The contextual background of humanitarian work is crisis and post-crisis. It's not developmental work, where probably the word program may be more apt. I don't know, but in theory, humanitarian interventions are shorter rather than longer, yeah, and designed to have impact in a short space of time, right? That's why I like that word, because it gives the sense of, okay, there's a crisis, and I'm intervening to in some way affect and alleviate the crisis, the effect that crisis is having on people. Okay, so and when I have an intervention, I'm not seeking outcomes per se, I'm seeking impact on the needs that I've identified as critical, and then I design my intervention to have an impact on those needs, right? So I think when we think about it like that, it's easier to not get lost in the activities, right? And I'll talk about that in a minute. From my perspective, in humanitarian work, the role of a program manager or somebody who's heading up a humanitarian intervention, no matter what sector it is, WASH, health, etc., I think that the role of the program manager isn't just, as I said, to run activities. It's to constantly be looking at the needs and constantly checking whether my intervention is meeting and satisfying the needs that were originally stipulated, and if not, adjust accordingly. So I think that is the quid of the question, right? It's in humanitarian work, because we're not talking about normal work in a company. We're talking about humanitarian work where there's a crisis, a specific crisis, and I'm intervening to try to alleviate the impact of that crisis on people's lives. Okay. So that's what we will be talking about it. So there's a kind of a dual focus for a humanitarian program manager. They're focused on needs and impact, and then the implementation is what comes between. But we'll see that now. Okay, but a program manager has to be focused on the contextual part of things as well, not just working inside the set of activities. And I will repeat that often, because I think that's one of the problems that often happens, is that program managers are working to implement activities rather than connected to the contextual dynamics of and how needs are evolving and changing or not.